Okay, folks. Post-game press conference for Western Kentucky. Opening comments by Coach Hudson. Questions from the student athletes, and we'll let them go and then Coach Hudson answer questions for them.
Well, first of all, the reason Taylor Dellinger's not with us, she had to see a doctor. She had a eye injury that she took late in that match, so my apologies that she's not out here, but she was just grabbed by her trainer to go see a doctor. So, you know, I'm usually not a person that has trouble coming up with words, but this is one of those times. You know, our kids played their guts out. They gave me everything that they had, and you know, Kentucky played like champions. I mean, we gave them our best shot. You know, Kentucky is a high character group of kids. Kentucky is a high character staff. They're well coached. We knew they weren't going to go away. We certainly didn't think we were going to cruise on out of here in 3 games, and I have nothing but respect for what they did and what they accomplished in coming back and winning this match. You know, I think I was adding points. I think they scored 103 points in this match, and we scored 102. And that makes it pretty tough to swallow, but that's the way things go sometimes. And, you know, as I told our kids, there's 63 teams in this tournament. They're going to go home disappointed. But all the reasons they hurt so bad right now are all the reasons why I'm so proud of them, because they were invested in this, they poured their hearts into this, and certainly have no regrets. So,
questions for the student athletes?
Emma, point blank, how well did you guys play the first 2 sets?
We were rolling the first 2 sets. We knew what we needed to do in order to get them out of system, get their middles out of it, and I think we did just that, and we did that confidently. We had a good time doing it, but in the end, it didn't turn out the way we wanted it to.
When you got it back to 12-12 in the rally set, the 5th set, you pushed back to tie it. Did you think, I think we can do this, I think we can bounce back and do this?
Oh, definitely. Even after the 2nd set, we were like, okay, we can totally do this. But when it was tied in the 5th set, we had a little surge of hope, and that we could just side out or get a stop, that we could make it happen.
Rachel, just how incredible of an atmosphere is this night? Your fans, Kentucky's fans, you know, them coming back, going to 5 sets like that. Just how great of a volleyball match was that you played tonight?
This is definitely one that I think NCAA will be talking about. I mean, the whole crowd was involved, both sides. I mean, who would have thought that we would have taken them to 5? We just kept fighting back, and they were fighting back, and it just made a great volleyball match.
Emma, what kind of emotions did you guys have going 2 sets up in Lexington in the tournament? Like, what kind of emotions did the team have?
Well, we were obviously on a pretty big high after winning the 2nd set, going into the locker room, and we had to take a minute, take a breather, because they were taking a breather too, so we knew they weren't going to go away, and we just had to, you know, kind of regroup and talk about it and go out there and do what we did in the 1st and 2nd set.
Rachel, how tough is that to close out a team when they're obviously one of the best teams in the country, like Travis was saying, you know, high character kids, and you get up 2-0, how hard is that to finally close the door and fight them off?
I mean, it's definitely disappointing because we were right there, but, you know, they were the 4th seed. You know, we knew that we had to fight, and that's what they did. That's what we did, and they just, you know, came out on the top. So, props to them for that.
Do you guys know what you think like a turning point might have been in the match? Like when you think things got changed a little bit?
I would say, I mean, I think we had like a constant energy level, and we just knew that we had to be on our, you know, on our toes, and knew that they weren't just gonna mentally not be there, and they were just going to give us points. So we were constantly like fighting for the next point, and just trying to either close the gap or to stay the lead.
Rachel, you guys did a great job in the first 2 sets of just kind of keeping the Kentucky crowd out of the game, but in those last 3 sets, they really started to rally back and just raise the volume. How hard is it to kind of just tone that out, or do you just not even worry about it?
I don't really think the crowd personally phases me. I mean, honestly, they could have been cheering for me. So, I mean, it wasn't a big deal for me. And I think our team, didn't get fazed by it either. We just played our game.
And I think we've played in a lot of big matches, so we're used to having a big crowd and having to counter that with our play and our own energy, just us, 18 on the sideline.
And as one of the younger players, what can you say about the senior class and what they accomplished during their careers?
They're a special group of seniors. Each and every one of them provides something on and off the court. With their leadership, their play, they're all very good students and just great people, and they will be greatly missed. But they've left a legacy that will last a long time. And it's great for us, upperclassmen, underclassmen, and the incoming freshmen to learn from that and take that into our next season.
Rachel, I don't know if y'all realize tonight, but Jessica actually set the program career assist record, being someone who's on the receiving end of a lot of those assists. Just how incredible a career did she have here?
Amazing career. I mean, Jess was someone you could always count on. Like, never would she be negative. Never would she not bring her A game. Like, she was a constant from when I got here and still tonight. And, she's one of the best setters that I've ever had, and I love her, and I'm thankful for her. So,
Rachel, a follow-up about Jessica. My hands are shaking when it's 12-12 at that point. I look out there and she's smiling. I mean, is that, I know Coach Hudson talks about that, but is that just kind of the essence of why she's special, that she just truly appreciates being a student athlete?
yeah, she always just has a positive attitude. I mean, you're never going to see her frazzled by anything. She'll always next play, and she does always smile even when Travis gets on her or anyone gets on her. But she definitely is a presence out there on the court, and brought everything she had tonight, and you can't ask for anything else.
Any other questions from the student athletes? Okay. Thank you guys for how your
Thank you.
boys here tonight and how you competed. Thank you very much. Questions for Coach Hudson?
Coach, what did you tell your team during intermission in those first 2 timeouts in the last set when you guys were down 20-17, and then they ended up winning the second set? What did you tell your team during that intermission?
And we knew this was going to be a long match. I mean, we knew it was going to be, we wanted to, we were up 2-0. We played really well early on, and we knew we had 3 big punches left to try to land one. And so, our kids, look, this is a special group of kids. I mean, and don't forget in that second set, they punched back and took a 20-17 lead, and we stood up and dusted ourselves off and came back and took that set. We weren't going to go away. We knew they weren't going to go away. They're equally competitive kids, equally high character kids, and so we knew we had 3 punches left to try to land one, and we just didn't connect.
How incredible of a college volleyball match was this tonight?
Well, it was. It was just that. It was an incredible volleyball match and a credible high-level college volleyball match. As I said in here the other day, Kentucky is very deserving of the seed that they got in this tournament. I don't want to hear this stuff that there were other teams that should have been. I don't want to hear that. Kentucky went out and earned what they got and deserved the seed that they got. But I also don't want to hear, quite frankly, I don't want to hear about how scrappy our kids are and how we recruit to our system. And I don't want to hear all that stuff. We got good volleyball players. We've got really good volleyball players. And they're very, very proud to wear that WKU across their chest. And we're not out thinking anybody or out toughing anybody. We're playing really high level volleyball. And there's a lot of things that go into that. And, this was 2 teams, I have tremendous respect for Craig Skinner and what he does with their program. I would hope he has the same for our program. And if not, then there were 3,620 people that had a chance to see firsthand, what our program was about too. And Kentucky won this match tonight. We did not lose it. That's the way I feel about it. Kentucky won this match. We did not lose this match. Our kids fought. How many times do we have to stand up to the bully? You know, I mean, they're the 4 seed in the tournament. How many times did you see our kids stand up to the bully in this match? And our kids didn't lose this match. Our kids ran out of time. You know, Kentucky won this match. Our kids didn't lose it.
Travis, Craig did speak very highly in here a few minutes ago. Said you guys top 10 team. Said Alyssa's a first-team All-American. Very high praise to your team. Coming from a coach who you just mentioned you have such respect for, what does it mean that that respect is obviously very highly mutual?
Well, that's something that I fight for, quite honestly, a lot. You know, I'm in a profession where I've been at the same institution for 23 years. And I can't tell you how many times in those 23 years there have been people in this profession that think I need to move somewhere else and put different letters on my chest to be good at what I do. And I believe that the kids that you coach are the same no matter where you coach them. They're the same kids with the same problems and the same issues, and they're trying to grow and become adults and do things with their lives. And I don't think you have to have a certain set of letters across your chest or coach in a certain conference to be a quality volleyball coach and be good at what you do. And so I'm incredibly proud to wear that WKU across my chest. And I don't need validation. My kids are what give me the validation. And to see them go out and play at the level that they played tonight is all the validation that I need.
Travis, this is your second team that I've seen in person. I know every team is special. You've had some outstanding teams, but this group particularly, what makes this team special?
Well, they're good. They're good volleyball players. I'm going to say that again. I don't want to hear how scrappy we are, and I don't want to hear all that stuff. They're good volleyball players, and that's where it starts. You know, I've coached a lot of great kids, and I say in recruiting all the time, one of the kisses of death in recruiting is when somebody calls you and says, she's a great kid. If that's what they lead with, then, you know, that's not always the best sign in recruiting. They got to be able to play. And we got kids that can really play, but they are great kids. They're really great kids. And they care a lot about our institution and playing at WKU. And, you know, we got a bunch of kids in that locker room that were being recruited in the Big Ten and the SEC and all those places. And they came to play for me, and they came to play at our university. And they're high-character kids. You know, the two things, and I'm going to say this, if it's off topic, then sorry, you should have kicked me out before. But I'm going to say this. I've been at Western Kentucky for 23 years. We have a 100% graduation rate in 23 years that I've been on that campus. And in 23 years, we've had one kid transfer out of our program in a day and age where there's kids transferring left and right. And that is what speaks to the kind of kids that we bring into our program. They're high-character kids. We've got 14 kids on that roster that can all really play and had to make sacrifices for us to be what we were out there tonight.
Travis, I would be remiss without asking, Brad asked about the teammates, about Jessica becoming the all-time assist leader, and I know that you could go on all day about her, but what are you going to miss most about her?
Well, they touched on it, just the attitude, the positiveness that kid goes through life with. You know, I'm up pleading with her. You know, I mean, Kentucky's left started pounding us cross court, and I'm up begging her to move inside, and she's looking at me and smiling the whole time, and I'm thinking, I'm not smiling, I don't think. But she's a coach's kid. Her mother was a coach, and she's a coach's kid, and she gets it. She gets that every push and prod and that a coach gives you, every up and pat on the back and kick in the butt that a coach gives you is to try to make you better. And she's a kid that always has that persona. That is not fake. That smile is genuine, and it is something that impacts the kids around her every time we take the floor.
For the senior class to basically sweep through Conference USA their whole careers, win 2 NCAA tournament matches, just the things they did, you know, all the All-American, all the individual accolades, just how special of a group will the senior class be?
Well, it's going to be hard to top. You know, I really like our team coming back next year, but there's a legacy there. There's a legacy there for these kids. It's incredible what they've done. They've been here. They played college volleyball for 4 years. They won 4 regular season championships. They won 4 tournament championships. They went to 4 NCAA tournaments. They went to the second round twice and were as close as they were tonight to get into a Sweet 16 for the first time in school history at a university that prior to 2002 had never been to an NCAA tournament. Their legacy is large and it's lasting, and they're all high-level students, as well. And so, they have laid a foundation and hopefully continue to catch the attention of people in the country that WKU's got a pretty special volleyball program.
Coach, just talking about the senior class again, what do they mean to you on a personal level, and just how?
I don't know if I can answer that one. Man, the journey with these kids, it's every kid. When I look around the locker room, every story is different. They are one team, but every story is different. Every story is different with the background that they come from, the things that they had to go through. Sydney, it's all different. Alyssa Kavanaugh was this thick-headed kid that didn't necessarily want to be coached and thought she had it figured out. And we went through this journey with her to get her to understand that that there's more to Alyssa Kavanaugh than a volleyball player that you saw out there on the court. She's a kid that's grown into a great teammate and a great kid on our campus. And you watch the growth. Sydney Ingles, a kid that came in and was not the toughest kid that I've ever coached in my life. And I watched her struggle and build and grow and get better year after year after year. Amar Listenby's a kid that dealt with knee injuries her whole entire career and took a backseat offensively with what we do, and all she does is go out and do everything she can to help. They're just kids that are givers. They're kids that get the big picture. They're kids that winning is not going to stop now that they've stepped off the volleyball court. They're kids that are going to be really special. Do a story on our senior class in 5 years, and I bet it'll be an interesting one because they're kids that are going to go out and do really good things in this world.
How beneficial was that exhibition match against UK earlier in the season today?
No, honestly, if I'm being completely honest, not at all. That's the first year we've ever had an exhibition. I don't want to get too long-winded. Craig and I talked about, hey, we're not going to worry about being fresh and all that kind of stuff. We did 2-a-days in Bowling Green and drove up that night and played them the next day, and they beat us like a drum for as many sets as we wanted it. And, so we didn't get a ton from it. I hope he did. That's what I told him when we shook hands afterwards. I hope you got something out of it because we certainly didn't, and but we were both totally different teams, and knew that we would be this late in the year.
Coach, you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but what is this game? Just how hard your team fought just throughout the entire game? What does this mean for the future of this program?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not so much into the future of the program right now. I don't know that it's going to mean anything for the future of our program, but I know in the future of our program, we're going to continue to graduate kids. They're going to continue to play really hard and do the right things and hopefully give themselves a chance to be back in this situation again because, I coached in, I think, 3 conference championship matches before we ever broke through and went to an NCAA tournament. And ironically, when we did that in 2002, we were down 2-0 and came back and won in 5. And now we've been to 11 NCAA tournaments. And so I don't know. I don't know what it means, for the future of the program. I just know, that we're going to put ourselves in a position to be successful. If you want to win in this tournament, if you want to get in this tournament and win in this tournament, you got to get lucky. I'll be honest. We can all coach an X and O it to death, but had we won, we would have gotten a break somewhere in there. And I bet Craig feels fortunate about some of the things that, the plays that were made at the end too. And it's 12-12 in the 5th game, and so I don't know. I don't know what it says for the future. I'll have less hair when I start back, I guess is the only thing I know.
How about one more for the coach? Anybody else? Okay.
Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.